Alright folks, here we are at the preschool and we're painting a little bit of Cookie Monster action for you right here in this beautiful Florida day. One of the biggest questions I get is, what is holiday window painting? In this part of the country, people don't really know. Alright folks, here we are out in Ocala getting ready to change out this window, but we're going to actually add a little more Sesame Street. Check it out, we got the Cookie Monster. Window painting started long ago when they painted the windows of churches before stained glass was really a thing. When you paint in a thunderstorm and there's heavy lightning, it really energizes you. I think that window painting actually started back in the days when cavemen were painting on the walls of their caves. Very easy 10-second tutorial. Get yourself a big sponge, cut it out like a star, and you're going to be a star when it comes to window painting. Even if you look at historical photos of the USA, you're going to see a lot of windows that have some paint on them. If you've ever wanted to make your own tiki hut at home out of cement blocks, this is how you do it. Andrew's house got done with the mural. Andrew, how you feeling about this thing?
Perfect. I am absolutely just, the whole thing is just, I couldn't imagine more.
Painting on windows these days is more for holiday seasons and store advertisements and all kinds of fun things like that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're out here in a devastating thunderstorm painting ice cream on a window for summertime. Oh, shit! I loved drawing as a kid, and I was always inspired by sign painters for some reason. But I found out early in life I just didn't have the patience to be a sign painter. Those guys are real artists. And then one day I discovered window painting. Somebody was painting a window in one of the local malls, and man, I decided right then and there I had to go out and find a place to paint my very first window. A buddy of mine decided to let me paint the front windows of his restaurant. I was so excited. I started gathering my supplies. Well folks, can you believe springtime is almost gone, just like this painting right here? Time for some summer. So I got out on the job, the restaurant, and I started painting. About 2.5 weeks later, I was finishing up. It turns out I really didn't know much about holiday window painting. It turned out that there was a lot more to it than you would imagine. Alright guys, we're finishing up this one. 2 jobs today, 2 fairly large jobs, and that's good. And it was a lot more difficult than I had even thought. I didn't even know what kind of paint to use, and I didn't even know that you were supposed to paint on the outside of the glass. I didn't know how much energy you have to exert to paint these kind of windows. Not to date myself or anything, but my window painting started back in 1983. I've literally painted thousands of windows since then, and I'll tell you what, I've painted for any season and any reason, as you might be able to see here in these photos. And that's why I call myself the any season, any reason window painter. I've been lucky enough to travel all across the country painting the windows of some of the biggest corporations and some of the smallest mom and pop stores you've ever seen. It really doesn't matter, large or small, I'll paint them all, no problem. Through all the years I've been painting windows, there's one thing I know for sure, and that is I've never painted the same thing twice. And that is definitely one of the biggest challenges of painting windows, is trying to make other people's ideas come to life. Especially painting old style in the middle of a new digital technical age. There's not a lot of technology that goes into painting these types of windows. It's mostly old school craftsmanship. For me, it's taken a lot of work to get to the level I'm at, but I'll always let you know I believe there's room for improvement. As you can see, I take my cues from old school cartoons. As I grew up as a kid, I drew a lot of cartoons, and it comes out in the paintings that I do these days. Unless it's a specialty logo or something like that, all of my paintings that I do are generally hand-drawn and then hand-painted. I come up with an idea, and I turn it into reality. Often my painting is right on the spot with little time to plan or anything like that, and so what you see is what you get. I've never painted the same thing twice. I don't use stencils or patterns, and I do most of my artwork that you see like this just by hand right on the spot. Well folks, here we are in Leesburg painting up some seafood specials. That's right, get your lunch on right here at the Old Time Diner. Often because of customer request, I find myself painting just about anything you can imagine. Just like this seafood scene, and I don't even like seafood. Not only do I paint windows, I paint murals, I paint windows, I paint signs, I paint motorcycles, I paint cars. You name it, I paint it if it'll stay still long enough. As my tagline says, any season, any reason, that's what I paint for. I do my best to make your ideas come to life. You have a vision for what you'd like on your windows, I try to make it happen. I use the best quality paints, and I have a technique that I've devised over years where I use specialized tools, paints, and methods to create paintings that you're going to be proud to show to everyone who sees them. My window paintings will easily clean off at the end of the season, or they'll last for years if you need them to. I try to create an animated look to the paintings that I do, along with a little bit of a backstory that really does draw a lot of attention to your windows. Even when I'm in the process of painting the windows, sometimes I'll gather a little crowd to watch what I'm doing. Most of the time it'll take me about 2 to 3 hours to paint your average storefront. And always remember, the window painting guy is gonna keep his prices right and keep his paintings tight. So when this holiday season sneaks up on you and you're not quite ready for it, remember I'm there for you guys. I'm there to help you decorate. We're going to make your windows look awesome for the holiday season. So don't forget, now is the time to book your holiday windows with the Window Painting Guy.